Welcome back to It's a Tool Thing. I want to talk about wrench organizers today. This one here I've been using for quite a few years. It's what I refer to as a gummy, where the wrench fits in there and it has a little bit of flex and holds the wrenches. It allows you to pick them up. Not my favorite design. This one over here is another one in standard direction. I've had this one even longer. And they work pretty well. They're definitely not my preferred design. I would prefer these, which are wrench rack holder brand holders, over the gummy ones. Though at the same time, I prefer these style of wrench holders here, these individual ones. You can find them on eBay, but they're always got to get them from Europe for some reason, unless you buy them directly from the tool truck. Though they're not that expensive. They're usually I think $20 for a 2-pack. I cut them to length. The only issue I really have is once you cut them, they're always that length or shorter. Like this one here actually has an extra space in it. It just happens to be one I'd already had cut. But I need to pick some more of those up. I've never actually bought any off the tool truck. I've talked to them about it. I usually just pick them up used when I find them, but don't seem to find them much anymore. So I had those gummy holders, and like I said, they're not my preferred choice. I prefer to have these wrench rack style hard plastic holders. But I like to lift out both my standard and my main metric wrenches here. And those gummies allow you to do that, where on these they'll shift around a lot and they won't stay in there. Not that you can't lift them out, but they don't lift out as well. So I've made a modification to these holders. Let me slide them out of here. That allows me to, one-handed here might be a little more difficult. Allows me to lift these things out and not have one drop very easily. Slide these aside. Grab this other set out. Like I said, I apologize. I'm not anybody who knows how to operate the software to change these videos. I just record them as they are. So sometimes they're not the smoothest. But as you can see, I mean, this set's got up to 1.25 inches with no issue, able to pick that thing up now. For some reason, the gummies and these wrench racks, it's like they engineered them for in the other direction. They just inverted it or something. But the wrenches tend to get caught on each other. As you can see, I don't know how else will. See how it's kind of sticking together? They do fit, but they don't fit like free. One-handed might be difficult to put back in, but like you said, they kind of bind up on the. If they were straight on this end, they wouldn't do that, I don't think. But whereas the standard direction, they call those reverse direction, they tend not to have that issue. And I think it's when they did the mirror image, they should have increased the spacing slightly because they're exactly the same length. And when you reverse that field, and I've tried putting the wrenches in, turning them over, facing them the wrong way, helps slightly, especially with the gummies. But I do prefer them to face this way if possible, mostly because when I go to put them back, I'm always trying to put them in backwards and have to turn them back around to get them in. So what I've done here, remove a couple of wrenches. One of the other guys at the shop has been heavy into magnets recently, and talking with him, I thought, heck, that's not a bad idea. So what I did was I glued magnets down both sides on both of these wrench holders. I actually put a middle set in here on both the wrench holders also, because I noticed when it got to the larger wrenches, if you started to tip them, they would slide to the side. And I was hoping to prevent that. But these things, unfortunately, I actually even ground it slightly in the writing. I don't know if that comes through. But you can see where I kind of ground a groove, trying to make it flat through the writing. And when I put them in there, obviously the entire wrench holder itself isn't flat because they were pivoting off this middle magnet. And being that it really wasn't that important, cosmetically it doesn't look awesome now, but it wasn't that important to be able to keep them tilted at an angle. I was just trying to keep them on the holder so I can transfer them out of the box onto my cart or down on the floor, because I do a lot of work on the vehicle. like to keep my wrenches handy. That way I can keep them organized while I'm working and try to speed up the time a little bit. It doesn't always work out. But like I said, I just glued some magnets in here. They're fairly strong. Let me pick this other one up here. Like I said, they hold pretty well. I mean, I've got this at a pretty good tilt. I'm not holding any of the wrenches. And you can see that one just started to slide a little bit, but it's almost 90 degrees. And they did move slightly. As you can see, a few more have moved. But they didn't fall off the holder. To be honest, is it worth doing it? Probably not. I think a 25 pack of magnets cost me about 20 bucks plus my time. The gummy ones do the job. But like I said, I do prefer these style. They do have a nice feel to them when you're using them. With the magnets though, they kind of just clip right in. So I am pretty happy with it. It's an option or an idea. Is it worth the extra time to make the investment? Maybe not, but I definitely like it. Thought I'd bring you along. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below about ideas that you've come up with. Maybe you've got a better one. I'd love to hear. Thank you for watching.